Hey guys, hope you're all having a good day or night, whatever time it is. Hope you're all having a good one. Today we are here with the Miabatsu Sprint Series. This is Race 2, Season 1. Today we are at the Galileo GP track around the Galileo Observatory roads. Today we are, Group 1 is out right now. So Miller, pretty much everybody but me and L and a couple others. Miller's out there right now. There goes my teammate Miller in the gray and red Miabatsu Motors car. This track's pretty fun. There's only really one hard braking point. Lots of flow, very hilly. A couple brake boosts on the track, so it looks like Ricky there puts it in the wall. He's borrowing a car from Miller at the moment. Here comes George. He's another strong competitor, so he'll be one to watch today for sure. Again, this track, if you guys haven't seen one of these videos before, it is basically like paved rallycross. So mine is the Joker, but short laps, short tracks, only like we're going to do heat races, and then how that works is that the odds from one heat go into heat A or heat 1A, and the evens from qualifying go into heat 1B, and then odds, evens like that, and then top two go into the final from each of this heat 2, and then there's the LCQ, but you guys will see all that later in the rest of this video. Either way, Group 2 is just about to get out on track now, and obviously I'm in Group 2, so you guys will get a good view on the track as L gets underway. We got Justice behind that. We got Terror, so he's gonna get going. Once again, Terror is he's new, I believe. Food Source, I'm for sure, is new to the series. There goes Food Source. I'm getting ready to get going now. So here I go. You guys now get a onboard look at the track. We're coming down the hill. Down here it's completely flat out, kind of sketchy. Just drop your wheels into the dirt there on the left side. Hard braking, cut across the dirt. Looks like Food Source made a little bit of a mistake there on the outside. Get that little bit of a curb boost coming into the tunnel. Yeah, again, get another curb boost. That's the start-finish line there, right under the tunnel. Coming up the hill, stick to the left side, throw it hard right, flat out. Off the gas, a little bit of brake, try to catch that dirt on the inside. I miss it there just a little bit. Again, get the curb boost on the top of the hill. I missed the one on the right side. Right here's where you can get the 2 brake boosts. I believe there's another one on the track that I was never able to hit. Either way, coming down the hill once again, hard braking, cut across that dirt just a little bit. Out up on the mountain, run through the bushes. They can help you get turned just a little bit. Watch out for the death prop there on the left side. Probably going to get demonetized for that one. Either way, not like I'm monetized in the first place. Either way, coming under the atomic tires, coming into the atomic tires turn, across the top of the course on my final lap. Coming down the hill, flat out, left, right, left, tap my tires in the dirt there just a little bit. Right side, hard on the brakes, into the piss lesser hairpin. Hard left, accelerate, back going, under the tunnel, get that curb boost, get only 2 this time. And that is a lap. That is my flying lap this time around. Either way, I will catch you guys when the heat get ready to start back up. Alright, we're back for Heat 1A. The Miabatsu Motors teammates starting on the front row this time around. It started to rain here just a little bit at the Galileo Observatory. Either way, getting going. I get a great start. Miller spins his wheels quite a bit on the left side. I get a great start again. I don't know why I said that twice. Cut up in front of Miller. Under the atomic tire. Coming into the atomic turn. Miller might be going for a little bit of a look. Judging by the map, they're really bunched up back there. It might be Miller's still behind me. Looks like L is behind Miller. Either way, it looks like Miller's still on my butt here. He might be going for a move down into the hairpin. A little bit slippery here in the rain. Not quite flat out down the hill. Hit the braking board just a little bit. Help you get maybe slow down just a little bit more. Either way, get that curb boost on the interior of the tunnel. Only get one. Looks like Miller and L are back there catching me just a little bit. I pulled out just a little bit of a gap though. They're bringing it back. Miller looks like he had a great first section. Pulled out ahead of L. I get a good top of the hill turn. Turn 3. Looks like I've pulled away from Miller just a little bit coming into the downhill. I really get to pull away from Miller at this point. This race is short. I don't really have time to just lollygag, sit around. Gotta get going, gotta get moving. Either way, back into the tunnel. Nice and dry here in the tunnel. Already on to lap 3 of 8. Like I said before, this is very, very short races. very like sprint races, you could say, because it's the Miabatsu Sprint Series. Either way, looks like L might have caught Miller there in the background. A little bit curious to see if L gets the move done on Miller. Either way, I'm again coming down the hill, hard braking into the Broseff hairpin. A little bit of up and atomizer there on the left. Shakes the camera just a little bit. Looks like Miller might have caught me just a little bit. L is also still right on Miller, so L might be looking for a little bit of a move on Miller. Gotta get that move done. Looks like L might have made a big mistake. He's dropped back quite a bit from Miller. He's 2 seconds behind me. Miller's about 1, so Miller's splitting the difference between the two of us. Again, trying to go flat out down this hill. Looks like the rain's letting up just a little bit. Still a wet track though, especially in that hairpin. Very, very moist down there. Either way, Miller looks like he's caught me just a little bit. You can see him curb boosting on the map there. Caught me about the 10th of a second since the top of the hill. Quite a bit on the 32nd lap. Either way, hard braking for the atomic corner. Up over the top of the hill. Get that curb boost, other curb boost, and we get the brake boost. Not just lap around. Don't want to risk it, especially in the rain. Could get you all kinds of sideways. I get on the brakes just a little bit, coming down the hill. Hard braking. Into the left-hander. Coming out onto the straightaway. Get that curb boost under the tunnel. I'm on to lap 6 of 8 now. 3 laps to go. Once again, coming up the hill into the atomic turn. One of the most difficult corners and important corners on the entire track. Coming past the grandstand, wave hi to everybody on the left and right. Coming flying down the hill, the track looks like it's dried up by now. Still not quite flat down the hill though, just a little bit wet still. Not much though. Either way, Miller looks like he's just stayed right with me. Hasn't caught me too much, I haven't dropped him too much. Coming with 2 to go. Once again, up through 1, through 2, over the hill, let out just a little bit. Through turn 3, over the top of the hill. Next to the grandstand, get the curb boost. Through turn 4, through turn 5, 6, 7 down the hill. Get hard braking for turn 8. Get going. Looks like Miller's caught me quite a bit. He's running up the mountain though. We'll see if Miller can get me on this last lap. Either way for teammates, so I won't be too disappointed if he gets me. Of course, I still want to get the win over my teammate, but after all, he is my teammate. Miller's caught me a lot coming up into turn 3, the atomic corner. I dropped my wheels just a little bit. Miller's on my bumper this lap around. Coming down the hill. Got to carry it flat out this time around, otherwise Miller's going to get a bit of a run. I messed it up just a little bit. Miller might be going for a dive. Not quite. Looks like he's too close. No, Miller hits the prop or something. Miller spins around. That's not done well. First place for me. Can't be too sad with that one. Either way, here is Heat 2. Heat 1B. Second heat of the day. I'm not participating in this one. In this one, it is all the evens from qualifying. So Miller got the pole. I should have mentioned that before. Miller did get the pole overall. He had fastest lap. I had 3rd. I believe Food Source had 2nd, so he's on pole for Heat 1B. Either way, I'm going to go get up in the grandstand over here with everybody else. Looks like Miller and L are hanging out. Maybe get some hot dogs, getting some donuts over here. I'm pulling up into the grass. This is a great place to watch from, just because you get to see the most important corner on the track. Looks like the Food Source has dropped back quite a bit. Looks like it was RPM and George way up there. They're going pretty good up there, up front. RPM looks like he might have got the move done on George. There's Miller. What's up, Miller? Either way, George and RPM looks like they're going to have a good race. I'm not sure what happened to Food Source. Might not have had the best start. Either way, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top in this one. Again, the evens from this heat go into... Oh, wow, big crash from RPM and Food Source. Both into the wall. Both into the tree, actually. Into the trees and bushes. Looks like Food Source comes out ahead of RPM. Still not a good day for either of them. George now has clean sailing up front. He's going to have a nice, easy time of it as long as he doesn't make a mistake. But mistakes are not hard to come by, especially on this track. Either way, coming down the hill. Again, George has gapped him quite a bit. Yeah, there comes George. There's George coming into the hairpin. Here comes the next racer. There's Justice. There's Food Source. And then there's RPM. There's Ricky Bobby way up there in the top right. And then there's Gore there. Looks like he might still have a chance if he can pick up his speed just a little bit. He might have a chance with the cars in front of him if he can run faster laps than them. Either way, looks like George is pulling out even more of a gap than he had before. All he got to do is not put it in the bushes as he runs very wide through that corner. See, he acquired a little bit of damage on the front of his Penumbra. Either way, there goes Justice through the corner. Looks like RPM and Food Source are going to be having a good battle. Once again, looks like George still gapping them in that MyMac Motors Penumbra. Definitely getting that speed, especially around this track. George is known to be pretty fast, but often does not have the best of luck in racing. Looks like Justice and Food Source has caught him up just a little bit. Not sure what happened to RPM. RPM is just nowhere to be found, really. There he is. Looks like RPM might have made a big mistake. Looks like Gore might have a chance at RPM, so that'll be interesting to see how that develops later into the race. Either way, they've gapped him out quite a bit. Again, there comes George. Waiting. There he is. Looks like he's about 3 to 4 seconds behind, and Food Source is right on his tail. So Food Source might have a chance at Justice. And I mean the gamer tag, not actual Justice. Either way, there comes RPM. Looks like RPM has gapped out Gore. Gore might have made a little bit of a mistake. Either way, George still has this race easy. Looks like Justice makes a little mistake as Food Source is even closer this lap around. Looks like Food Source, if you look at the left, it looks like Food Source might be quite a bit alongside. RPM has really gapped out Gore. Gore looks like he might have made another mistake trying to catch RPM. Just maybe pushed it just a little bit too hard in that borrowed car from George. Either way, George just absolutely clean sailing from this one. Definitely helped out with a little bit of an incident from the others. But it wasn't of his doing. They just got on 2 wheels and put it in the weeds. So either way, it looks like Food Source goes for a move on Justice into the hairpin. Justice gets the cutback. Doesn't look like he's quite going to make it this time around. George gets into the lead. Looks like Food Source just ahead of Justice, followed by RPM, then followed by Gore. Anyway, I will catch you guys when the Heat 2A starts back up. Alright, we're back with Heat 2A, sorry. George ended up getting a faster lap than me, so George gets the inside as he was a faster first place driver out of me and him. Either way, hoping for a good start again. Like last time, my car has really been hooking up this time around. It'll be interesting to see if any of the other cars will make it back up in front. Either way, Team Miabatsu Motors again out to a great start. So the Miabatsu Motors car is really just hooking up today. Looks like George might be under threat from the car behind him. Either way, I've gotten out ahead. It looks like there might be a little bit of contact from behind. George goes for the huge dive bomb. Takes me out just a little bit. L gets out in front. L for the Pro Left Racing Team gets a little bit lucky there between a little bit of contact between me and George. So L will be way out in front at this point. Now it's my job to go catch him. See if I can make any moves on him. Try to get it clean, just gotta go catch him at this point. Either way, you gotta put in good laps, gotta put in clean laps. This race is double the length of the first heat. Definitely got the time in this one. Either way, getting moving across the line. As you can see, 16 laps. That's compared to 8 last time. So we still have plenty of time to get this done. 14 laps, in fact. Either way, get a pretty good corner at the top of the hill. I've gapped out the people behind me quite a bit, so at this point it's got a hot lap. No need to go defensive now. Got to go catch L, hoping maybe make a couple mistakes. L is pretty fast around here, so we'll see how it goes. Either way, Got plenty of laps to do it. Just gotta put my head down, gotta focus, and gotta go. Again, catching L just a little bit. Through the atomic corner at the top of the hill. Across the top I go, down the hill. Once again, flat out, all through here. Left, right, left. Touch the tires just a little bit in the dirt. Hard braking across the dirt. Touch the tires just a little bit on the concrete apex on the left. Get that little bit of curb boost in the tunnel. I usually try not to go for too many because you just end up scraping up your car and damaging it. Either way, flat out. Up through 2, through 3, over the top of the corner. Looks like L's maintaining a pretty steady gap at this point. Either way, down the hill once more. Looks like I have to get out of the throttle just a little bit in order not to hit the tree. Definitely don't want to do an RPM or a food source. So I might have caught L just a little bit as he gets that curb boost coming in the tunnel. I get 2 this time around. Lap 6 of 16, still got 11 to go. Plenty of time to catch L up front in that Prolapse racing car. Either way, at this point you just gotta focus, gotta put my head down. Concentrate. Can't lose concentration now, especially on this track. It's very, very difficult, this one. You gotta be focused at all times. Coming out of the hairpin, I get a pretty good line. Looks like L might have scraped his car. Watch out for the death prop on the right side. Hit that thing and it stops you dead. Either way, under the atomic tire. Into the top corner. Through the atomic turn. Miss that dirt just a little bit on the inside. Get it on the outside though. It's a little bit of a curb boost. Miss the brake boost. Not really going for it. If you miss it, you lose time. Either way, a little bit of a lift here. Definitely caught L just a little bit. I keep edging him down, maybe he'll get nervous, maybe I'll catch him just a little bit more. Definitely caught L a lot this time around. Maybe half a second this lap. Either way, coming to the halfway point in this race. It'll be interesting to see if I can get it done. Either way. Coming out of the top corner. Through the burger shot left. Second left, into the right. Left again. Touch the tires in the dirt. Pretty much perfect line for me there. Looks like L might have got a little bit sideways under braking. Tap that concrete. Pretty much just as much as you can tap it there. A little bit more and I would have probably stopped dead like Miller was in the previous race. Either way, on to lap 9 now. 8 laps to go. Coming up through the corner. Top of the hill. Coming down the hill again. After you can get the brake boost, if I was going for it. If I need to towards the end of the race, I definitely will. Once again, L gets really sideways coming into braking. He's doing that lately. When there's just the brake bias on his car is just not set up properly. Maybe he's trying to go for something a little bit faster and it just didn't quite work out. Maybe his setup isn't quite perfect. Either way. Come to the top corner. Looks like you might get a little bit of understeer. I get the curb boost on the inside as well as use the banking to my advantage. He hits the fences. Fences going everywhere across the track. Luckily we're not NASCAR. We don't call a caution for a can on the track. Either way, hard braking once again into the dirt section. Definitely caught L a lot. It'll be interesting to see if I can get a move done in these next coming laps. Either way, we got 5 to go after this lap. Just got to concentrate. Maybe hope L makes a mistake. Run some good laps at this point. Maybe try to get into the 29s if I can. 30s are pretty much as good as most people will get around here. Either way, down the hill we go. Hard on the brakes across the dirt. I've definitely caught L quite a bit. This time around, looks like we might have a lap car in the way. That might make things interesting. Coming up the hill one more time. Or not one more time. Once again, I mean, under the atomic tire. Into the atomic top of the hill. Wave high to food source to the right hand side. Hope Ricky gets out of the way. L gapped me quite a bit. Not sure what happened. Maybe he got the slipstream in his car ahead. Either way, got to catch that gap back up. Maybe hope that Ricky will hold him up just a little bit. Hopefully not, as he's a back marker, but we'll see how it goes. Ricky hits the prop on the right side. Looks like he might have forced the L in the wall there just a little bit. Come on, Ricky, let me by, let me by, let me by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Either way, the gap has remained the same between me and L. Coming through the corner, over the top of the hill, get the curb boost. Got it. Get this down the hill flat out, this lap around. Looks like I give it a little bit of lift. L gets super sideways this lap around. Not quite close enough for an overtake. If he does that again next lap, I'll definitely have the chance for an overtake. Either way, give him that little bit of bump coming on to lap 14. 14 to 16. Still got 3 to go. 3 chances, 3 laps to make a move done on him at some point. Either way, looking to the inside there, I back out of it just a little bit, hit the apex on the inside, lose a little bit of time. Just wanting not to hit him, not to cause any contact. Looks like Gore might be getting in the way. Once again, back markers causing a little bit of maybe controversy, a little bit of an issue. Either way, looks like L gets past Gore pretty cleanly. Gore, once again, he just lets me by. I have to go around the outside of him, but not a huge deal. L had to do the same. Either way, I get a great run out of the atomic corner. I might have L coming down into the hairpin this lap around. Again, great run from me. Flat out down here, just a little bit of a lift. L gets on the brake. I have a little bit of a run. I go for the inside move. Over the curb I go. L gets a little bit sideways, maybe because of a little bit of lag contact. Either way, I get the move done. Don't think that's deserving of a penalty. We'll see. Either way, that's a little bit added to the final race points. Now I just got to get moving, get going. Get this move done, or get this race done and dusted, really. Coming down the hill, L is quite a bit back. Got to watch out for the revenge move, though. He might not be too happy with me. Hopefully he won't do that, but we'll see. As L absolutely just goes for the takeout into the hairpin. Alright, well, he's definitely going to be deserving of a penalty. To me, that looks heavily intentional. Either way, that's going to put me down in a second. Don't feel like I deserve that one, but either way, it is what it is. Sometimes it's racing. Either way, I'll catch you guys into the Heat 2B. Alright, so we're back for Heat 2B. Looks like Miller's got the pole for this one. Food source from the outside. As the grenade is thrown, whenever that goes off, cars will get moving. As they get moving now, looks like Food source gets a great start. Miller on the inside. And then RPM behind that. Either way, great start from Food Source, so he got the lead ahead of Miller. Then RPM behind that. Either way, I'm going to get going up to the top of the hill. Go head into a different grandstand spot this lap, this race around, I should say. Either way around, looks like Food Source still has the lead. Looks like Miller might have gone for a little bit of counterattack. Miller gets back into the lead. Pretty close racing down there. Not sure what's happening. Either way, I'm going to go run over to the grandstand. Get ready to watch. As it looks like Food Source is trying to come up the hill. Not sure what happened to Miller. Miller is nowhere to be seen. Food Source, Terror, RPM, and then Miller. Also, don't mind George. He's just following everybody around so he can set off the DNF timer. Don't mind him. He's not actually racing. He's just been instructed to stay at the back. He volunteered for it. Either way, Miller's got some work to do if he wants to make it into the final. Of course, you can always go through the LCQ, but that's not cut and dry. You always want to get through by going through the top 2 if you can. Either way, Food Source followed by, looks like RPM, no, it's Terror, sorry. Followed by RPM, followed by Miller. Miller still isn't able to make a move on RPM, so Miller's all the way down in 4th at this point. So he got to make it all the way up to 2nd to get that move into the final. Either way, either way, he's got to get some moves done if he wants to get up into the final. Hoping he will, as he is my teammate after all. Either way, Food Source, looks like he's coming up to the top of the hill. There he goes, past your screen. Here comes Terror. Looks like Miller. Not sure what happened to RPM. RPM is just falling back. Yeah, not sure what happened. Might have been a little bit of contact between Miller and RPM. We'll see if any penalties need to be assessed after the race. Either way, Food Source has the absolute lead on everybody right now. Miller is really trying to play catch up at this point, trying to go catch Terror, seeing if he can get into the final. Food Source, as long as he doesn't make a mistake, has got this one lapped up. Terror looks like he's being caught by Miller just a little bit. Knowing Miller, Miller always races best when he's a little bit frustrated or angry and I'm trying to catch somebody. So knowing Miller, he'll be going pretty fast at this point. RPM looks like he's dropped back just a little bit more from Miller. Not sure what he'll be able to do with his race. Maybe he'll be able to capitalize if Miller and Terror make a mistake. Either way, it looks like Food Source has extended his gap to Terror. Looks like Miller's caught Terror just a little bit more. There goes Terror. There goes Miller. Again, going down the hill. This is cool watching spot up here because you see him come up the hill and then see him disappear as they go down. Once again, they're disappearing down the hill, down into the other half of the track. Again, looks like Food Source. Bottom left of your screen, that's the map. Here he comes, across the top of the hill once more. Looks like Miller might have caught Terror just a little bit more this lap around. Miller might have a chance at Terror before this race is over. We'll see. Again, he gotta get. Sorry, cannot talk right now. Miller gotta get second place in this one if he wants to make it up into the final. As it looks like a little bit of smoke or fog is rolling in. So, skies look clear, but hopefully it won't rain. We'll see though. Either way, looks like Food Source is absolutely gone at this point. Looks like Miller has caught Terror a lot, so Miller might have a chance at Terror in the coming laps. Either way, again, don't mind George. He's just following everybody around because DNF timers stink. Either way, Food Source absolutely just has ran away. He is in about the cleanest air you can get. He's in like mountain fresh clean air right now. Absolutely just running away with it. Looks like RPM might be catching both. Oh, Miller gets the move done. Not sure we got that, but looks like RPM might be catching both of them. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops later on into the race. Once again, that battling has even let Food Source get even farther ahead at this point. So Food Source absolutely flying out ahead. And Miller's gotten up into second, so Miller is the second transfer car. But that battle's not over if Terror can get it back on Miller. As Terror is even closer this time around. Terror might go for a dive down into the hairpin. It'll be interesting to see who comes up out of the hill in first place. Either way, once again, Food Source just flying away. He's coming over the top of the hill now. So we'll see how far out ahead he is as he crosses there at 6:47 on the game clock. Probably like about 10 seconds ahead, I would guess. So 6:55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 12 seconds out ahead. As RPM looks for a little bit of move on Terror coming down the hill. Again, it'll be interesting to see if RPM can get the move done on Terror, and then if he gets the move done on Terror, see if he can get the move done on Miller after that. But they got quite a long way to go till they get to Food Source. 12 seconds, in fact. That's going to be pretty much impossible to make up unless Food Source does what he did in Heat 1A, where he hit the bank and flipped it. Sorry, Heat 2A, I should say, or Heat 1B. Ugh. This is Heat 2B. It looks like RPM is still not able to get that move done on Terror, so that'd be interesting to see how that goes after that. Again, don't mind the yellow car. That's just, he's DNF timer. Still, Food Source absolutely just masterclass running away with it this time around. Just basically hot lapping at this point, getting some practice in for the final. Here come the other drivers over the top of the hill. Miller's gapped him out just a little bit. Looks like RPM. No, RPM did not get Terror. Sorry. So, still battling back there. It'll be interesting to see if RPM can get it done. Even then, he's going to have to go get Miller after that. So, still got a long way to go until he gets to the final, unless he wants to progress to the LCQ. Either way, here comes Food Source over the top of the hill. I pull out the fireworks for everybody. Always good to give someone some fireworks. Put it back away. Never mind on that one. Miller gets a little bit sideways over the top of the hill. Not sure what happened there. Oh, it looks like might have been a little bit of a crash there. Quite a bit of damage on both of the black cars coming over the top of the hill. Still wasn't sure who got the lead out of both of them. Either way, at this point, they're just battling for LCQ position. As I give some fireworks out for Food Source here, coming across the line. Coming across the line here, coming across the top of the hill. Definitely not coming across the line. Again, give some fireworks for the other people. Miller, RPM, and then followed by Terror. So RPM got Terror at some point. Not sure where or when he got it, but he definitely got it at some point. Either way, at this point, we're just getting going. Food Source is definitely gonna take it into the final. After that, it looks like it's gonna be Miller followed by RPM followed by Terror. So RPM and Terror will be in the LCQ. Looks like the others will be in the final as Food Source crosses the line. Followed by, I would assume, Miller, unless he makes a big mistake or flips or something. Yeah, there goes Miller. So it'll be Food Source and Miller in for Heat 2B. And it will be me and L in from Heat 2A. You guys will have to watch the next video, which should be out tomorrow if you're watching this at the time of release. It'll be out tomorrow, which will be the LCQ and the final. Either way, I will catch all you guys later. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow with the LCQ and the final video. It'll definitely be the one to watch. Definitely a lot of close racing in that one. But either way, I will catch you guys later. Peace out.